Couple of weeks back, we have spoken about team building, what is team and all these things. Today, let's understand delegation, another very important aspect of team building or team management. So, there is a dilemma while delegating. What is that? First is delegation only for the supervisors or people who are having supervisory role? The delegation is about determining the best way to handle a project or a task, then discovering the best way to solicit the help to others or help of others where and when it is appropriate. Many people mistakenly think that only those who have direct authority to delegate or direct reportees to delegate can delegate to their team members. But that is not true. Delegation can happen at the peer level or at the same level. Sometimes, though very rarely, can happen even upwardly also. That is, if as an individual, if I am unable to manage a task, in that case, I can always delegate to, if required, to my supervisor or to my senior, especially when I am not sure how to handle the task or perhaps I am not fully competent to manage the task independently. Let's see an example. This example is predominantly focuses on what happens if we don't delegate. Assume a person's name, say person's name is Prabhu. Prabhu is the manager of Rita. He is the program manager for the entire website maintenance project. He has 4 project managers reporting to him. All of them have over 16 years of experience. Prabhu always complains about too much of workload and unable to have family time or unable to take vacation. It is as bad as that. Whenever someone applies for vacation, he sarcastically says, yes, you guys have a lot of time, you can take vacation. I don't have time, I can't take vacation or I don't deserve vacation. He had put himself on a victim mode because of this belief that he has a lot of tasks to perform by himself. Rahul is the manager of Prabhu, that is Prabhu reports to Rahul, and he had never interfered or tried to solve Prabhu's problem. Recently, Rahul had resigned and Ajay came as vice president and he is the new boss of Prabhu. Rahul has observed the challenges being faced by Prabhu and has decided to speak to him. After the meeting, Prabhu understood his mistake. What is the mistake? The mistake was he was trying to do everything by himself, even though he has a very competent second in command or second line to whom he should have delegated the tasks. Now, from this example, it is clear that why delegation is important or how delegation helps. Right? It eases, as a supervisor or as a senior person, it eases the task from our shoulder, at least some part of it. But remember one thing, as you have seen in the earlier section or earlier video as well, that tasks can be delegated but not the responsibilities. So as a supervisor, I still hold the responsibility of the task which I have delegated to my team members. Right? Now, moving on. Everybody has different myths about delegation. What are those myths? I impose unnecessary high standard that others may fall short of. That is, whatever I do with the highest possible standard, and except me, nobody can maintain that standard. It's a myth. If we groom our people properly, in that case, that person, that individual also will be able to do the task with the required precision. May not be exactly like me, but they will do it in their way. Second myth. I don't entirely trust anyone. So, it means I am delegating to someone else. What if he or she could not deliver? What if the quality of the outcome is not up to the mark? What if he or she backstabs me? Myth number 3. I fear others criticize my productivity and efficiency. Another major problem. If I delegate the task, people will say, okay, this has been done by your team. What have you done? Now here one point I would like to address is when I am delegating my work to my juniors or somebody else, that frees up my bandwidth or my time. As a result of that freeing up bandwidth or free bandwidth, I should be or rather must take additional responsibility or some other project, some other task so that I utilize my time. And also very importantly, most of the private organization, it is always checked or said that you do something new, something different. What new have you done this year? Or what differently have you done? Or what difference have you made basically or brought in this year? So if I free up my bandwidth by virtue of delegation, in that case the advantage is I will have time. I will have time to do something different, do something new for my own, which I can showcase as my direct outcome or my direct efficiency or productivity. Next myth, fourth myth. I fear that I may lose my job. Why so? Because the person whom I am delegating perhaps the most critical job for which so far in the organization I am known that Amit is the only person who can do it. So tomorrow that person, the other person will be able to do the same thing. What will happen to me? What will happen to my job? Again, it's a myth. Because if I am very good at certain thing and if there is no competition for me, trust me, any good management, any efficient management today, tomorrow or day after will bring someone either within the organization or outside who have the same skill set, same efficiency like me. Because otherwise the organization will be completely dependent on me and tomorrow I may ransomize the organization. Like, okay, you give me 100% hike, otherwise I am leaving. Right? So no organization will tolerate that. So the point is, again, if I delegate my job to somebody else, bring someone up to the level, as a result of that, my bandwidth gets freed up, and then for that time period, I take up something different, something new. So that way the cycle, it rotates, right? So that is the advantage. Now, if we move on, the benefits of delegation. What we have seen, by delegating, we free up our bandwidth to do some more important jobs in your scheduled time. Develop the skill for others, skill development, not only for myself, but other, as a supervisor, one KRA, one responsibility of any supervisor per se is develop his or her team member. And remember, that is again a very, very, very important characteristic or very important trait for a leader also, not only supervisor. So the moment we start bringing up others up to the speed or develop others, I gradually from manager transform myself as a leader. That could be the one small step. Number 3, make others' job more diverse or challenging. Again, very important. If any person, be it me, be it my team member, or be it anyone else, are doing the same thing again and again and again over a period of time, then obviously the person gets bored. Number 1. The moment the person gets bored, the efficiency curve starts dipping. So it means we need to give some new work, new tasks, different things to do for people so that the efficiency curve doesn't dip. Assign project to people who are possibly better suited to do the task. One very important point is for delegation is never delegate something as a punishment to someone. So as I was telling, I can delegate the job, I can delegate the task, but I cannot delegate the responsibility. This means that responsibility still lies with me. So if I delegate as a punishment kind of thing, in that case it will hit back to me only, because if my team member could not perform, then ultimately at the end of the day, who will be answerable? I will be answerable. So make sure that never ever try to do the delegation as a punishment kind of thing. Next point, demonstrate. As a result of delegation, we demonstrate confidence to that person or to the team or to the whole group, right? Because I trust you, I have faith on you, that's why I have delegated an important piece of work to you. Now, this is as a supervisor I am delegating. What is the advantage or benefit of delegation as a person to whom the task is being delegated? First, chance to do things which I or they normally don't do. So, new thing again, new skills and responsibilities, opportunity to prove themselves, because everyone knows that Amit Ganguly is good at A, B, C. Now, if I take up something called D, and if I can successfully do that, then people will know Amit Ganguly is good in A, B, C and also D. So this means what? This increases or emphasizes or enhances my credibility. Right? Training and or experience to a new skill. And obviously, no explanation required. More involvement in the job and enriching by variety. As I was telling, that doing the same thing again and again is pretty painful. Now, when to delegate? Very important thing. Is the task that someone else can do, or is it critical that we as a supervisor, I as a supervisor, has to do? That is the first question to ask. Number 2, does the task provide an opportunity to grow and develop other person's skill? If yes, then please delegate. Next, is the task that will reoccur in a similar form in the future? In that case, definitely we should delegate, because in that case what happens is a repetitive job, and if we delegate to the next level or somebody else, in that case that person can do the same, do that particular job again and again, as and when it required or as and when it comes, and excel in that particular job. Important. Next, do you have enough time to delegate the job effectively? Very, very, very important point. Delegation. When we are delegating, we need to spend more time with the team member or team members to whom I am delegating. Why? Because it requires coaching. It requires mentoring. I need to tell the person, tell that individual what needs to be done, how needs to be done, and all these things. So, again, normally, first time managers or junior managers often feel that instead of spending so much of time, I will do it by myself. That's wrong. Because again, what we are doing in that case, two things. One, I am taking too much of burden on my shoulder. Second is, I am preventing the growth of my team member. Right? So, spend some extra time, mentor, coach the person so that he or she can do the job efficiently. Finally, is this the task that I should delegate? Certain task involves certain confidential information, data, and so on and so forth, which only I am supposed to know at my level, at my career level. Those kind of things I cannot delegate, right? So, that part I'll have to keep in mind. One important tip is, while delegating, communication. Communicate very clearly to the person what needs to be done, how to do, and most importantly, by when it must finish. Wrong motives of delegation. What all we should avoid? Number 1, to avoid job that you don't like to do. I don't like to do this, that's why I am dumping it to someone else. So that is not delegation, that is dumping. Don't do it. To avoid responsibility of learning new skills. I got a new thing to do, for which I need to learn something new. Who will learn new things at this age? So I have a junior person. I will dump it to that person. You learn you do, in that case what happens? Sharpening the saw will not happen, which means in that case tomorrow that person will become much more efficient than me and I will remain at the same place. So tomorrow that person will overtake me in the career. We have mentioned this to penalize someone whom you don't like, right? So delegating, I am delegating this job to someone, I know this person will for sure fail. So I am delegating to this person to punish. But again, remember, responsibility lies to whom? To me. So if that person fails, ultimately who will be penalized? That person might be penalized. That's a different thing. But I will also get penalized. So what am I doing? I am spoiling somebody else's career in the cost of my career. So should not do. To pass the responsibility of failure, almost the same thing. To avoid commitment due to sheer laziness. Who will do so much of work? Yeah, let me delegate my 90% of the job and then sleep peacefully at home or whatever, wherever. So what will happen in that case? Again, everybody will do my job, fine, fair enough. By the end of the year, when my performance evaluation time will come, people will say, my supervisor will say, fine, your team has done a great job, but what have you done? What is your contribution? Because delegation, coaching, mentoring, all these things you have done last year only. This year they are just managing the show of their own, independently. But you have not done anything new, anything different. So, what have you done? Nothing. Right. Now, whom to delegate? Factors to consider for delegation. Number one, experience, knowledge and skills. A person should have required experience, required base knowledge and the base skills. The person's work style. If we have to match the deadline, managing the work style is very, very, very important. See whether any training is required or not. If yes, in that case, provide the training, arrange the training. And 4, current workload. Check the current workload of that individual before delegation. Do not overload the other person. If we overload the other person, what is going to happen? The quality of the task or job will definitely come down, right? So, let's go back to our previous example, Prabhu's example, Prabhu's scenario. So, after understanding the benefit of delegation and all these things, Prabhu started delegating. He identified, that is who, he means who? Prabhu. Identified which all tasks he can delegate. Number 1. As we have seen earlier, he has ensured that he did not pick up the task which he does not like to do for delegation. Next, he now identified all our most skilled, experienced person to take up each of the tasks. So, who is the best person for this particular task or job? He found that each of these people has required skill, but not the experience to handle the task independently with minimal supervision. Why so? Because they have not got opportunity earlier. Who has not given opportunity to them to work independently? He carried the entire box or entire load on his shoulder. As a result of that, the next team members, never got an opportunity to work of their own, take independent decisions. So, he understood that this is because of his fault, the next level have never got the chance. So, he told them that they have seen him working so far, and now going forward, each of them will own some part of the project. For next 3 months, they would bounce their decision with him, that is Prabhu, before taking the final call. But he also made it clear that for each situation or problem statement, they need to come up with the possible solution. Prabhu what he will do from his experience, he will say, okay, fine, you think A, B, C, D are the solutions. Which one do you think best? Is it B? Okay, fine, I also think B. Or, no, instead of B, perhaps A would be the better solution because of XYZ reason. So if you notice, what Prabhu is doing is actually coaching, right? The people were very excited. But along with that nervous also, they got the power, but great power comes with greater responsibility. So Prabhu was coached each of them so well in next 3 months that each of them got confidence of handling any situation independently without any support. After 3 months, Prabhu has found that he could complete his day within the office timing, regular work timing. And the best part is, now he can afford to go for much better vacation. So, as a result of good delegation, he had decided to take a vacation, packed his bag and left for a week or maybe even 10 days. So there are various different steps that we should follow while delegating. Number 1, understand the task. Number 2, choose the right person. Number 3, communicate the task. Number 4, provide the required resources and remove the barriers. Number 5, guarantee the understanding so that the person have understood what needs to be done and how needs to be done. And number 6, most importantly, follow up and then reward. So check whether things are going in the right direction or not and reward them. Now regarding follow up, I would like to add one thing is, be very careful while following up. There are certain people who are kind of very dedicated people. So do not follow up too much behind them. They get irritated. There are people who are a little slow. Might be a little lazy. So yes, they need a little more closer follow up. How to delegate? Understand the task, identify the right person, which we have said earlier, and then delegate it. Alright, so with this, we come to the end of this delegation part. Hope you have enjoyed it. We will come back again with the next dose of team management. Till then, have a good day. Bye. Thank you.